News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's your closing bell for this Tuesday on Wall Street, where Treasuries lost some steam as traders look past a U.S. jobs markdown ahead of inflation data that will test the market's conviction on Fed cuts. We're going to get into all of that just ahead. But first, let's bring you the closing numbers. We do it each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 18 points. NASDAQ gained 81 points. The Dow is up 197 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.08% and the 2-year yield at 3.55%. And Apple shares fell about 1.5% in regular trading after a huge unveiling today of its next generation of iPhones, featuring a new ultra-thin model and slight price hike for one of its high-end models. The company feeling the squeeze of a global trade war. We get details with Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow in Cupertino.
A big overhanging outstanding question relates to what's happening in Washington, D.C. Does Apple raise prices and pass it on to the consumer? Does it not raise prices and swallow that cost along with its carrier partners, T-Mobile, AT&T? What do the carriers do to incentivize the consumer? Why does that all matter? Because the environment is more expensive because of tariffs.
Apple will charge $1,100 for the iPhone 17 Pro. That's a 10% increase from previous versions of that model. The iPhone Air will start at $1,000. That's the price of last year's iPhone 16 Pro. We turn now to the war in Gaza, which actually showed up in Qatar today, as Israel says it conducted a strike on the senior leadership of Hamas in Qatar's capital. The White House says this unilateral attack did not advance Israeli nor American goals for peace, and Israel says it told the White House about the attack before it happened. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the impending attack, which he did. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the attack.
I condemn this flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar. All parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it.
Oil jumped after reports of the attack, which revived fears of a wider conflict in the Middle East. West Texas Intermediate climbed 0.75%, nearing $63 per barrel. Bloomberg Intelligence senior commodity strategist Mike McGlone says the important question: will supply be interrupted?
Typically, the market's becoming very much immune to these. It's very unlikely and very unlikely to be enduring. So markets, I'm sensing, are just looking for an opportunity to sell. So these type of things, markets becoming immune to. It needs something significant to keep it higher. Otherwise, responsive sellers are probably going to win.
Hear more from Mike McGlone on the Bloomberg Intelligence podcast. President Emmanuel Macron named Sébastien Lecornu to be France's new prime minister to try to pass a budget through a divided parliament. Lecornu will need support from the left or the right to pass a 2026 budget. His minority government simply will not have enough votes on its own. Once he has consulted Parliament to adopt a budget, he will then propose the formation of a new government. Job growth appears weaker after payroll numbers were revised down by a record 911,000 for the year ending in March. Bloomberg Intelligence chief U.S. interest rate strategist Ira Jersey says the Fed will likely cut, but not much, not at first.
I don't think that the Fed's going to go 50. And one of the big reasons for that is there still is this inflation overhang, right? The fear about tariffs maybe still adding to some inflation. We haven't seen all of it. You've heard a lot of Fed speakers talk about the net effect of tariffs hasn't yet been seen. So I think the Federal Reserve wants to be cautious.
Bloomberg's Ira Jersey on Bloomberg Surveillance. A Michigan judge has dismissed criminal charges against a group of people, including high-profile members of the Republican Party in Michigan, accused of trying to falsify certified election results. Members of the group face forgery and conspiracy to commit election forgery. District Court Judge Kristen Simmons said in a court hearing those 15 Republicans accused will not face trial. Cracker Barrel continues to walk back planned changes that hurt its shares, the restaurant chain now suspending store remodels. This after its new logo sparked criticism. The new logo and remodels were part of a turnaround plan to spark traffic and attract younger customers. Shares of Cracker Barrel fell about 1.5% in regular trading. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.